click it or ticket, no belt, no brains, or what's holding you back. These are all things that we may have heard throughout our lives to get us to wear our seatbelt. Some people refuse to wear a seatbelt in this day and age, when there are so many facts and reasons on why someone should wear their seatbelt. Today, I'm going to try to persuade you on why you should wear your seatbelt. Now, I know many people have been affected by others who do not wear their seatbelt. Maybe they were killed in a car accident or just injured. Some people just refuse even if they were affected by this already. I was affected by this a couple of years ago when my friend was killed in an accident by not wearing her seatbelt. So this is a topic that is very close to me. All in all, I think that everyone should wear a seatbelt while in a vehicle, whether you're the driver, passenger, or just in the back seat. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, motor vehicle crashes are the leading cause of death among those aged from 1 to 54 in the United States. And more than 2.2 million adult drivers and passengers were treated in emergency departments as the result of being injured in motor vehicle crashes in 2012. Not wearing a seatbelt is a problem that has definitely improved from the past, but is something that could definitely be worked on. On the Esurance blog, you can see that in 1985, most states had warmed up to the idea of seatbelt safety, and by 1989, 34 states had established seatbelt laws. My parents always told me that when they grew up, seatbelts were never very important because there were no laws against seatbelts. But after all the statistics and facts, when that came out about seatbelts, they then realized how important they were. Not wearing a seatbelt is equivalent of you falling from a 3-story building. Now what if you had something that caught you right before you hit the concrete? This is the same way that a seatbelt would work and would help to save your life. 40,000 people die each year from car crashes, and wearing a seatbelt could cut this number completely in half. This comes from an article in Oklahoma State University Safety Tips. The seatbelt law is still not 100% across our country, and this should change. The seatbelt law is divided into 2 categories of primary and secondary. The Governor's Highway Safety Association tells us that the primary seatbelt law allows law enforcement officers to ticket a driver or passenger for not wearing their seatbelt without any other traffic offense to ticket for. Secondary seatbelt law states that the law enforcement officers may issue a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt only when there is another citable traffic citation. 34 states have a primary seatbelt law for the front seat, and 15 states have secondary laws for the front seat. I think that eventually all 50 states should have the primary seatbelt law for every seat in the car. Not wearing a seatbelt is hurting innocent people by making a little dumb decision right when they get in their car. What could we do to change this? And how can we get people just to click it right when they get in their car? Some things that I believe we could do to get people to wear their seatbelts is to advertise the statistics more, have parents enforce the seatbelts, and educate people on the correct way to wear a seatbelt. I believe that if during school and before a teenager begins driving, there should be videos shown to the student on the effects of not wearing a seatbelt. He or she can then see the problems with when you don't wear a seatbelt. Also, seeing big billboards on the side of the roads with statistics and pictures showing of what happens when you don't wear a seatbelt is also a really big eye-opener. These advertisements need to be hard-hitting so that when people see them, they are moved and feel more compelled to wear their seatbelt. Another thing that can help with seatbelt safety is for kids to start young and have their parents enforce it. According to Teen Driver Source, they say that it will help if every time you get in the car, as a parent, all passengers must buckle up or they will have a punishment varying on the age. A parent can also say they will never start the car until all passengers are buckled and ready to go. This will then get kids in the habit of always buckling up before they go anywhere. Now, the last thing I think we could do to solve the problem is to wear the seatbelt correctly. Many people say that they wear a seatbelt, but do they actually wear it the right way? If the seatbelt is not worn the way it is supposed to be, it will not work the way it's supposed to be. People say that wearing it across their chest is uncomfortable, but that is there for a reason. The Oklahoma State University Safety Tips says that wearing it right is with both straps snugly fitted to transfer the impact of the collision to the parts of your body that can take it, which is your hip bones and your shoulder bones. Many people say they don't wear their seatbelt because they are just going down the road. It is a true fact that 80% of traffic accidents happen 25 miles from the home and also only going under 40 miles per hour. The benefits to this problem is very simple. The more people we get to wear a seatbelt, the more lives we will save. Law enforcement tickets people every day for not wearing their seatbelt, and somehow it still does not help. I do believe that our generation will get older, and as the generations below us get older, seatbelt safety will become more of a habit rather than an option. You have heard many statistics and reasons on why I think wearing a seatbelt is very important. You never want to have the thought of, what if I would have just worn my seatbelt? The people of this country need to make a move and to persuade and influence people to wear a seatbelt. No matter what people say or do, I hope you make the right decision to buckle up and possibly save your life.